Everything the traffic will allow. Nowhere do you get that happy feeling when you are stealing that extra bow.
Wow, Steve's in voice tonight. I don't know what kind of voice, but he's in some voice.
There's nothing wrong with a little, jumping on the line there.
Jump all you want. Are we on? All right. Oh, there it is.
We are on. Welcome to the Steve Squared Show. Oh, wow. I really did. If I knew that. If I heard that, I probably wouldn't have done it. Who wants to hear me?
Oh, I thought you were doing that on purpose.
No, I know we were.
No, he was
But of course, I don't think about anything until I hear it. And then I said, oh, God, that sounds ridiculous. It's the Steve Squared Show, everyone. I will take the honors because Steve is a little busy getting things together, sharing the show.
I'm sharing the show. It's good to share. I'm in a sharing mood.
It is
sharing
nice.
is caring.
It's nice to share. My name is Steve M. Next to me is funny man Stevie K, the man of the hour. This is what we really want to hear. The madman of the microphone.
How do these cans work? That's better.
You all right with that?
Testing.
Does it fit okay?
Testing. It's not great. That's not bad.
You want me to fix that for you, maybe?
That's all right.
Okay.
I feel good. Let me see.
Yeah, it's a little awkward.
Yeah, let me get that. I don't like
awkward.
This. Hold on. Let me get.
Well, you gotta.
Wait, it's something got twisted.
Give it to the NABET guy.
Hold on, and then I want this up like that. That's better.
Hey.
Okay, now I feel professional. I feel like Howard Stern.
Oh.
Take your top off. No, that was early Howard Stern.
Nah, he doesn't do that anymore. Now he's just peace and love.
He's all about okay. Hello everyone. First of all, yes, welcome to the Steve Squared Show. I thought we would do a little more. What if we tried a show, no comedy, just like a news. Let's do like a news show, like something like that.
You mean no comedy?
No comedy.
Like what we do every week.
I knew he would. Look at that. He couldn't resist taking a shot at me. How dare you?
It was a pretty good softball that you threw him.
Thank you. I'm not even wearing a cup. It's not even spring. It's just spring training. You don't wear cups yet, right? Do you wear cups in spring training? I used to wear a cup all the time.
Yes.
I always wore my cup.
We all did.
Did you play baseball?
Yes.
Or you just wore a cup just at Starbucks? There's a lot of nasty customers over there.
Well, no, I don't have to wear a cup at Starbucks. I'm well protected behind a counter.
You're protected by the Fifth Amendment or the Fifth Dimension.
Everyone seems to be doing the Fifth. It's a hip thing to do.
Now, and hello, Tone.
Hello.
All right.
Hello, Tony.
Hello, Tony. Me and Steve are walking in tonight. Gorgeous, clear night. Very cold.
It is spectacular.
Windy, but a clear night. A wonderful night to be an astronomer. If you were Galileo tonight, he would have. I'm an amateur astronomer. I've dabbled a little bit. I know where Orion is and Uranus. I'm sorry. Anyway,
okay. It's obviously we're doing a straight news show here. There's no humor.
Let's do straight news. So what's going on in the news today?
Don't want to.
All right, forget it. Anyway, so me and Steve are walking. Don't give me the hand. So we're walking in, and we had a good opportunity to check out the sky as Tony left us freezing on the doorstep for about 20 minutes. Thank you, Tony.
He did not.
Oh, I'm just kidding. So we look up at the sky, and they had said in the papers you can see some of the planets, and we saw Venus. I believe it's Venus. Don't quote me on it, but that was Venus.
Well, I would trust you because you have you have a telescope and you're.
I used to.
I thought you still had one.
No, it was for looking in other people's windows, but I did dabble a little bit in the sky. But yes, that is Venus. If you look up into the north sky tonight.
Venus.
Make my dreams.
Oh, Venus.
Yeah, Steve is in good voice tonight. So, before we get to the real meat of I know what you're waiting to get to, we're going to get there.
Whatever you
I just want
want
a couple of appetizers.
Look, I'm just, I don't have a rundown. It's always a surprise.
That's why I like to keep it the surprise.
I know.
So they say if you a rare ring has been spotted. Speaking, I'm staying on a celestial topic right now. It says an Einstein ring has been spotted by Cape Canaveral around a galaxy. Now this is what's interesting.
Far, far away?
Yes. It says the halo known as the Einstein ring encircles a galaxy. Listen to this, Tony.
Listen.
590 million light years away.
What?
Considered close by cosmic standards. A light year is 5.8 trillion miles away. So they have found this ring, okay? And they have estimated or guaranteed it's 509. Now, who's measuring this? What tape measure do they have that goes 500 trillion light years away? Who's measuring this?
And then imagine, when you hit the thing and for all the tape.
And then it all comes back.
That's a lot.
That's got to hurt.
Absolutely.
If your fingers, they get that finger out of the way.
That's right.
Who's measuring this? They can't even measure home runs in Major League Baseball. They're always wrong. Right? They get right away. They're like, that's 490 feet. Meanwhile, the ball's on 165th Street in Harlem.
Of course.
Anyway, astronomers have known about this galaxy from. It's not really that interesting a story, but there is. My point is, there's a lot out there. Now, this is interesting. They still have those stuck astronauts are in space.
Yes,
the woman with the hair.
They're supposed to stay for what, a week or a month?
It was a quick ride, like to
right.
the mall, and all of a sudden now they're never coming home again.
Right. Yeah.
And boy, are they lucky.
Oh yeah.
I would love that.
Oh
to
sure.
be stuck in space like that.
Really?
Oh, sure. I wouldn't mind to be in space for a while. Or for that, So,
you're taking a rocket.
Steve, he's got this is you had hopes of maybe nightclub singing up in the Catskills?
Maybe.
Forget the news. This is the musical version.
This
of
is
Steve's
right.
music.
I love it.
I know.
Let me see if you can. What else we can come up with? Oh, this is interesting and scary. I see this and I get nervous. Newsday likes to scare me. It says, study models asteroids effect as a collision capable. There's an asteroid heading for Earth.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Right? Widespread damage.
I was about to bring this up soon as you talked about the.
Now it
planets.
says here, researchers use computer models to assess the potential impact of a medium-sized asteroid collision.
How big do they say it is about?
It says noting that there are about 4,900 known medium-sized asteroids with a near-Earth orbit.
But what about this one that they're
It
thinking
says
that
the
could
size.
hit Earth?
I'm going to give you. It says a medium-sized asteroid has a diameter about 300 meters, 984 feet. Okay, a couple of home runs. It says one of them, Bennu, has a 1 in 2,700 chance of colliding with Earth. So I'm getting nervous now because with my luck, that's what's going to happen. It's going to hit me right on the house. And insurance, I don't think covers that. I don't think we have that policy. But
yeah, they'll duck out of it.
You think? Yeah, there's no way they're covering that. The Allstate, go find Allstate hands there. Go find Chris Paul then.
Oh, God, yeah.
And it says here, but then I saw the date and I calmed down. 2182.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're okay. You think so? Or you'll still be
Well,
here?
it's possible. Well, 35, I heard. Something in the 2030 something.
No, this says 2182.
They said something else on the news. I was listening to it on
Something
the way home.
closer?
Yeah, there was something. Yeah, I heard some
right.
2030. And they said it's possible it could hit Earth. It's possible it could hit the moon also. So they don't,
Which is better for us?
well, the moon, of course. But if it does hit the moon, we should be able to see that. So that'll be interesting.
We should do that. Go to the Vanderbilt. I'm sure they'll have a spread out there. They love to cap in on these things.
And maybe you could, recreate your performance at the Vanderbilt
I should.
when you did some Shakespeare there.
Look how cute these panda bears are. They was under the asteroid story.
Oh,
Isn't that nice? Look at this. They said they would like you to know to name them.
what would you like to name them, Steve?
You could. The obvious is yin and yang, right?
Yeah, it's a little.
Little two that on the spot. on the nose.
It's probably been done.
Abbott and Costello. Frickin' frack. What do you think, Tony? What would you name them?
Steve squared.
There you go.
Oh!
I'm thinking. I don't know. I need a little bit of time. So I don't know. Oh, but I noticed on the back here, Newsday's been having this notification that they're rolling out their increase. Their digital increase. They got some nerve while this is all going on with MSG.
How much is it going to cost?
Doesn't say. It says to come up with coming with times. With the increase in times and money and everything's costing more. So they're going to increase
the price of eggs.
The price of eggs. Now, when was the last time you had an egg?
I had some today.
Now, have you noticed, like when you get an egg at a place?
Now, I haven't bought. Because
like an egg sandwich.
I had eggs today. I went out and had eggs.
At a diner or a place, or where'd you have these eggs?
At an IHOP. Not this IHOP, but at an IHOP.
Are you noticing that they're costing more? Because my mom made up a good point. I took my mom out.
It was about $17.
I don't know if is that
omelet and
is that normal or that sounds high?
Yeah, it's a little high. Used to be a couple of dollars less.
So my mom had a good point because it was my mom's birthday this week. Happy birthday, Mom! Happy birthday. Thank you. And we took her out to the Massapequa Diner. And she said she likes that. That diner's good. No, she enjoys that. The eggs are good. She likes the breakfast special.
You can't go wrong with eggs most of the time.
Most of the time. She was saying, how would they be able to change their whole menu like that fast and just come up with new menus if they wanted to increase their egg prices? They'd have to redo their menus. And then what? When the price comes down, redo them again? Just keep redoing them every time eggs change or whatever.
Right.
Now, this is really good, and I think we should work on this, Steve. These two sisters have a band. They're musicians, Long Island, and they named their band where they grew up, Deer Park Avenue. The name of their band is Deer Park Avenue.
Okay.
Sarah and Stephanie Snyder. It's their genre is blending rock band. I don't know what that means.
Blending rock?
Blending rock band?
No idea what that means.
What is that?
Can I see?
Yeah, Steve, clear it up. I don't know what I'm talking about here. Steve always has to clear my mess up.
Where does it specifically say that?
I thought it said it here in there.
Oh.
Blending rock band?
You should get them in here and they can explain.
That's a great idea. Let's get them in. Let's get them on the phone. Look up blending rock band. Well, you look them up. Look up Deer Park Avenue. Yeah. We could look them up.
Rock Sisters.
You looked them up? Yeah, Rock Sisters. Oh, look at that. DPA. I love it.
All right, let's see.
We can't. That's fantastic. Let's call them. Oh, you have to you have to leave a message. It's one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. There's no number, right? You can't call them. Booking. Look, you could book them.
Yeah,
it's just you have to just leave like an email, like a little chat message. Okay.
They're based out of Switzerland, though. It says here.
That might be hard for them to get here then. Why are they Deer Park Avenue if they're based out of Switzerland?
Well, they're from here, but
the rock scene's better in Switzerland.
They're based in Switzerland. Steve, if you read this article...
I don't read articles, Steve.
Based in Munich.
It says, what's in a name? For Switzerland-based sisters... Shouldn't that tell you...
But they're from Deer Park Avenue. That's why they named it Deer Park.
I will be more than happy to work with you. I know you don't want me... I'll send me the articles you're reading.
What are you talking about? They're from Deer Park Avenue. Keep reading. I've read it. I'm kidding.
I know.
That's where they grew up. They didn't just obscurely name it. I know it was from Switzerland. I'm kidding. I'm joking. But yes, they were, as children, grew up on Deer Park Avenue, named their band Deer Park Avenue. After that, I have no interest in them. I just thought it was funny. Like if we had a band, we could name it Park Boulevard.
Through their band name, the sisters are spreading their love for Babylon Town throughout Europe.
Well, Europe really loves Babylon, if you know that. I didn't know if you knew this, Tony. Babylon's huge in Munich and Switzerland.
Yes, just like Hasselhoff.
Oh, sure.
Germany.
Düsseldorf! You didn't know I could speak You didn't know I could speak muttered European.
Getting a little too close to home.
Sorry.
Okay,
speaking of home, that was wow. I know how to trigger Steve.
God.
Home.
No, it didn't say. No. Do you want to change the subject now and get to that? No, Steve. Steve. Steve, I hope.
I know how to get him so mad.
Blast him.
He would harpoon me in the chest for saying anything bad about Saturday Night Live or the sacred Saturday Night Live. Here it is. Go ahead.
I'm not saying anything.
No, say it, Steve.
You're gonna pick on the performance of a man. I've seen people fall asleep at work in many a jobs.
What does that got to do with this?
I'm up. You know what?
This is not a job. He's performing.
The man is deaf.
I'm kidding. Oh, Steve, you don't have to defend him. I like Paul Simon. I think, in my opinion, and I didn't see the show. I didn't see the whole show. I did see the opening. You didn't even let me finish, and you're ready to attack me.
I thought that was a very poignant opening.
I thought it was. I would have. You're trying to grab that audience. You want the energy. People are excited, and you. I just thought it was a snoozer to open it up with. You can bring it out later when you want a little whimsical, sad moment. But to open it up with that, you bring in the whole place. Everybody's up. They're excited. They want energy. Energy!
The place loved it.
No, they didn't.
The place did love it.
They have the applause monitors. First of all, Tony, if the place is filled with, if you're doing a set at Governor's Comedy Club and it's all filled with your friends, which it really is, right? The audience was them.
Right.
It wasn't people. I don't think, right? It was just...
No, you're correct.
Yeah, so, all they had to... If somebody standing there is going to get a standing ovation. They are not going to be quiet at all during that show. They have to, get it going. I get it. So you really can't get an estimate of the quality by going by their applause and if they love. Of course, they love themselves. Who doesn't love themselves?
I know.
Anyway, I won't go on more because I did see a couple of skits. But I will say this: the equal cringe was the Kevin Hart show at the NBA All-Star Game, which was just it was so rough. He came out, and it just wasn't funny. He wasn't funny. It was very cringy, and they did the new format. It didn't work. And this is the thing, and it happened with Cobra Kai. Had this big red carpet event. Everything's this big red carpet event. So they had their final season or premiere, their final show. And I'm a big Cobra Kai fan. You know I am, but I didn't even watch the last season because I was just turned off. SNL has this big build-up, right? Red carpet event, special. They can't wait. And the NBA All-Star Game, big event, big pregame, everything is building up, and the event always lets down. It just doesn't match to the...
I'm not the Saturday Night Live proponent that you think I am.
Okay.
But it is still a hard program to do, no matter what...
Well, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying.
With.
No. Of course it is. I know. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying... I
think at least they try to do something, except for all the other comedy programs that mostly follow a straight format.
I agree.
I
do agree. I agree.
They're not. I don't see dumbbells out there.
Well,
I'm
not buddies with Lorne Michaels.
Well, Lorne Michaels doesn't do a lot of sitcoms, but
I did see. Let me just ask. I won't even say what my opinion is. I did see. Was it Jimmy Fallon do the Blues Brothers?
Well, that was from a different program. That was the homecoming concert.
Oh, okay. That wasn't last night?
No, that was Friday night, and he opened with that.
Oh, okay.
Which was very good. I thought he did good.
Okay.
You don't think so?
No, it was okay, but they didn't want to do it with somebody else, like two people? They just wanted him alone?
I don't know why, but it was a very short open, and then most of that show had music acts that performed on the show before. So you had people like, you had David Byrne, and you had Backstreet Boys, you had Devo, you had B-52s, you had St. Vincent, Eddie Vedder, Nirvana.
Even flow. So did you?
We didn't do even flow.
Did you? Who was your favorite cast, decade or period of time Since you're a very aficionado of Saturday Night Live, you've watched
It
every.
was the original one, and
That was one of your favorites, the original?
That and the '80s one when Lauren came back with with Phil Hartman and
Yes.
that.
That was a good one.
I will do that one. The Yankees, what they called the Yankees, when Dick Ebersol just spent all the money for 1 year and brought in Billy Crystal and Harry Shearer and Martin Short, and
Yeah.
that was a good year.
I agree.
The Sandler years, yes, I will say I like the Sandler years also. Those are the three good ones. Three good ones.
Yeah,
I like.
no, I think we're in line. I just think a lot of the stuff over the past time, I'm not a fan of any of these people except for Keenan.
Keenan is awesome.
I love him, and he's the only reason I might even look. I don't know. What is your? Do you have a favorite period of time, Tony?
I'm a big fan of the original, but I'm with Steve. Billy Crystal was, when he was doing stand-up, was one of my favorite stand-up comedians. So I did like that time. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was a part of that.
She was part of that,
Yeah.
and she didn't
Was
get
it even a whole season?
She was part of the cast before that,
Right.
And they
okay.
kept her. They kept her when they brought in that
Right.
that year that cast. That's how she met her husband,
Right.
Brad Hall.
Right.
And he was in there for a bit.
Monty's son.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll
yeah.
go with that.
And same with Steve. I like through the '90s, but to say that I'm with you. The current, like the past few years, isn't the same for me. But it's because it's not my time anymore. Like you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like I'm past. Plus,
But-
if you go back and watch some of the original, there's a few things in there where you're like, what in the hell are they doing?
100%. 100%.
So-
But there's another thing that's going on also that's an issue. I guess the big influence now is Upright Citizens Brigade.
UCB. I've taken classes there.
Right. And they don't focus on character-driven comedy.
Yeah.
No, it's
And
improv.
It's improv.
all
It
sketch
is,
and
but
improv.
it is. But
Of
they
course.
don't focus. But they don't focus.
No.
Like Second City or the Groundlings
No.
do. They,
Second City was improv.
Yes,
but they did
they're-
characters.
but
Yeah.
it's a
Right.
different-
But
yes.
UCB is all sketch and improv comedy. I've taken work there.
but
I've
they-
taken classes there.
But they don't. The people that came out of UCB that have gone to SNL, they.
Well, you
have
know
not
who started
focused-
UCB or who is
Polar, right?
Amy Poehler
and Faye.
and Tina Fey. Right.
They all came out of that.
Right.
So yes, look, it's just I haven't been interested in it in a while. I did like the Hartman years, the Eddie Murphy years, all yeah. But I don't think you should say. I mean, Tony, you're a pretty good judge of things. I don't think you should say, "Well, it's just not my time, so I don't get this
Well,
comedy."
I think the
you
thing
still know
is-
what's funny or not.
I
right?
think I agree
I
with.
mean, I don't
I
think you
agree
should say,
with.
"Well, I'm just."
I
not."
agree with what they say. It's whatever cast you watched when you were 14.
Right.
Is the cast that you love.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. And I do. I don't know if it's getting older thing, but it just seems like now that the comedy just. It's obvious. It's a lot dirtier, which not being dirty is harder.
I don't think it's not necessarily dirtier. I think SNL is very dry, if anything. You know, outside of Weekend Update, I think Weekend Update is still
Yes, I agree.
But
Those
I
two,
think
Michael and Colin
sometimes,
are great.
yeah, I think I just think sometimes they just they're afraid to go. They're afraid to go to characters because it's just I don't know, for some reason it's beneath.
Yeah.
I think another thing is they focus too much. You either got nepo babies working as writers or Ivy Leaguers,
Yes.
and that doesn't necessarily. I'm not saying that. They're not funny. Conan
was an Ivy
comes from
Leaguer.
Harvard,
Yes.
and he is very funny.
And he's very funny.
But but most of these Ivy League guys are kind of lost. They're not.
I've actually talked about it here with the club.
Mm-hmm.
The whole, like you said, the character thing. As much as I love Seinfeld, okay, he bursts onto the scene in the '90s. He gets the sitcom.
Mm-hmm.
and he does his observational comedy.
Right.
He changed the game and it's still today.
Right.
That's all you're getting is observational comedy. Very few. There's some duos. I think that's starting to come back a little bit, but very few characters out there. If you look before Seinfeld, characters
so
all over the place.
You don't have a Wayne's World. You don't have a Coneheads.
Right.
You don't have, things that you would really, and you know what? It could really help a show like this because they would, whenever there was a good character on SNL, every month or so, they would bring him out. Lauren would say, let's do a Wayne's World this week or whatever. After like a month, every month or so, they would bring in.
They had the church lady or they had
church
this.
lady,
And you had different people that were standard fixtures and you kind of like that. I think they just try to grab at too much political stuff, or they try to,
there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with political stuff.
It's all you're drenched with. Sometimes you don't want to be drenched with it.
No, I don't think it.
I just don't think it's funny.
But the show isn't drenched in. The only time it's drenched in politics is the opening and Weekend Update.
Well, and that's the thing too in this YouTube world. Now, I'm sorry to cut you off, but this YouTube world, that's all you're hearing about the next day, and that's all that people are going to, watching Alec Baldwin do Trump for the 25th time.
Right.
And so, to Steve's point, they do get savory because that's all they're seeing. They're not watching the actual episode.
So if you watch the show, the only time they do politics is the opening and Weekend Update. Nothing else in that show is political.
And the last thing, and this is Steve, me and Steve have argued on this point, but I'll get Tony's take, and then I'll leave it all alone. The contrived breaking of character in a skit. And
Jimmy Fallon is always guilty
not even
of
talking
that.
about Jimmy. Pete Davidson did it 100 times and he's awful. It's this contrived. They're not Cal Burnett, where it was a little more real, where Tim Conway and those guys, and because that wasn't a thing yet.
Do you think that was real, or do you think that
it might not have been? Who would ever know?
I don't. I think Carol Burnett was real.
I think it was more real than the Saturday Night Live that they're. It's almost like saying we can't even get through this skit. It's so funny to try to tell the audience how funny it is when the funniness should stand alone. You shouldn't have to go. I can't even get through this skit. It's so hilarious.
did get the impression the other night in that special. We were just talking about before we went on there. Meryl Streep and Kate McKinnon. I forget the character's name, but
the alien abduction sketch.
And you had Pascal or whatever his name is, and Woody Harrelson.
Pedro Pascal and Woody Harrelson.
It did seem,
and John Hamm was.
Oh, right.
Was also right.
I had the impression in that skit, the fake, the uncontrollable laughter seemed forced to me. It almost like it was planned because of Kate McKinnon when she does that character.
Kate does make people try to make people laugh. She does it on purpose.
But it seemed like it was a planned thing.
Yeah,
to me.
that I've seen other. I don't think it's
completely planned.
I don't think it's planned. I really don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, it's their opinion.
I don't think so.
But you don't. But I don't have a problem with that. You don't like that.
I don't like it because I think it's you don't have good material, so you have
Lauren,
to. Hold on, wait. I'm
go
just
ahead.
jumping on me.
Okay,
jumping all over me. You can defend Lauren. Lauren. I said Lauren.
Lauren.
I think it cheapens. If it's like you don't have good material, so let's tell the audience that it's so funny we can't even do it. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Tony, if you're a comedian, you know comedy and you've done it all kinds of flavors. And it's almost like Kevin Hart was doing it, and it was annoying me at the NBA All-Star game. He would go, Shaq, you look like a porn star! Ah! And
Kevin Hart's not funny.
It's laughing at his own thing.
Right.
Because the silence would be deafening. So if I laugh as loud as I can,
well, that's different. It is
different. But I'm trying to.
sketch.
It's not a sketch, but I'm saying it's that thing of even stand-up comedy guys get in a bad habit because you're worried there'll be silence.
Right.
So you laugh after you say something. I've done it myself sometimes when I say
I'm
stuff.
the worst at breaking.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not even just when we're doing it. I'll laugh at something I say, and you're not going to just say something and be dry. You're not going to not have a reaction. So it's weird, but some of it is a little over the top for me.
I'm the first. We joke about when we do the murder mysteries that we do. I'm the first one to break, and it's a running joke. I'm always, but it's real.
Right.
I'm not
Then
breaking.
that's
I'm not
fine.
trying to get the audience going. I'm just actually laughing. What happened?
You almost strangled yourself.
No, I didn't strangle myself. I'm must be on the cable or something. Go ahead,
okay?
Tony. Yeah.
I think I was done. I think.
What
Sorry.
you were going to say about Lauren? I didn't want
I
to
think
cut you off.
he doesn't like when they crack up.
Yeah.
He really doesn't. And he always poo-pooed Carol Burnett. I think wrongly, because I don't think,
Now, because the Tim Conway, help me, why can't I think of his name?
Harvey Korman.
Thank you. I thought the dentist scene.
Yes.
And I don't think that was control. Like I really think that was. But who would ever know?
Harvey Korman always said he was embarrassed. He said, "I'm an actor. I mean, I shouldn't have to crack up like that." And whenever people talk about it, I would be just embarrassed.
Right.
But Conway loved to get people.
And I think that was a little more. And Cal Burnett says that. So I believe it was a little more real.
One of the best things that ever happened. Vicki Lawrence, who was always the youngest of the member
by a lot,
and she always tried to, she looked up to all these people until she wouldn't say anything. So I think one of the family sketches.
Oh, with Dick Van Dyke?
Yes. And he starts changing the story about it with the elephant.
Yes.
So
and
funny.
And I think what her husband, who is the makeup guy, said to her, well, he says, I don't know what to do. He's gonna change it, and he said, well, say something. Don't just and then he goes into it, and then Carol Burnett's losing it, and she says, Mama, say something. He said, I'm waiting for the little asshole to finish.
I remember that. Yes, that is.
And it was great.
That whole thing, his story that he's making,
Yes.
that response, it's just classic.
Yes.
Now, when did that start on Saturday Night Live? The first primetime players never did that, right?
They hardly ever did it. I think Fallon was the first one. I really think. I think Fallon would just constantly.
And it's an attention grabber. It's like, oh, look at me, I can't break. Pete Davidson did it so much. He would never do his line. He was, and at points you're just like, it's not funny.
With them, they're very guilty of it.
This is very exciting. 7 great 1970s black exploitation films are streaming right now for Black History Month. So get ready for this. Well, it's on Pluto TV. I don't have Pluto.
It's free.
Oh, okay.
You just download and you could.
That's too much. I don't want that kind of work.
Wow.
Cooley High. Remember Cooley High?
Well, that's not even a blaxploitation. That's an excellent movie.
It says, though not a typical blaxploitation film, this comedy drama about students at a Chicago high school.
That is what's happening came from.
It's often compared to American Graffiti, it says.
Yes.
And it says, it says a screenwriter Eric Monte would go on to create the ABC series What's Happening.
It's really
funny,
take
Steve.
a look at it. It is exactly what
and Good Times.
Yeah.
Cotton Comes to Harlem.
I've heard of that. That's not a blaxploitation.
That's what it says. Red Fox is in it.
Okay.
Nice. You want me to do my Red Fox? Oh, come in, Wheezy! That's not Wheezy.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. A Piece of the Action with Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier was in a blaxploitation.
He directed it.
And Bill Cosby's in it.
Bill Cosby's in it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good movie.
Sidney Poitier directed a bunch of films with him and Bill Cosby and
Blackula.
Oh, that's definitely. I've seen that. Yes.
It says it's what's often called the first blaxploitation horror movie. 1972. William Marshall plays a 200-year-old vampire who's uncovered in modern-day Los Angeles. Blackula.
Well, to bring it all full circle now, that Eddie Murphy movie, My Name is Dolomite, what a great movie
that was a great
Dolomite.
movie. I really,
Yes.
yes.
And that was a great movie. I really liked
enjoyed
that.
that.
And that was based on the guy Rudy Ray Moore or something like that, or it was a true story.
Yeah, real story.
Yeah, where they did these kind of he did it himself kind of. Yeah, it was a great movie. I think he was nominated. I don't know if he won.
Oh, really?
He was definitely nominated for an Oscar.
I think he was.
I don't know if he won. And Coffee with Pam Grier.
I don't know that one.
Coffee.
Pam Grier.
Oh yeah, it doesn't get any better than her in the 70s. Oh man, that's right. Oh, here it is. Here's a picture of Pam Grier. That's right there. Great. And coffee. Want a little Pam for you?
Let's see that.
Put a little Pam in your coffee.
I would not want to mess with coffee. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, she gets down to business. Oh, this is, I can ask both of you guys. I have to, now it's President's Day, by the way. Happy President's Day. Or do you say Merry President's Day?
Ho,
Is it happy?
ho, ho.
Let's do a little. Here, I'll give you this. Well, I have to ask you guys a question. I have to buy a television. The TV went out. They got sound but no picture, which makes, again, critiquing these shows very hard when you don't have a picture and just sound. So I'm going to Best Buy. They have the President's Sale. I'm going over there tonight because the salesman said it ends at midnight or 9 o'clock. Mm-hmm. That's it. He goes, I was there yesterday. He goes, you could wait till tomorrow. I can't promise you the hand on the arm.
Hang on. Steve, let me just talk to my manager, Sal. Maybe Sal can give you a break. My manager can help you.
You do it right now? You're gonna do it right. You stay right here. I'll be right back. You're gonna do it right now, right? Because I don't want to go get it if you're not ready. I understand if you're not ready to watch television.
Let me get Sal.
Let me get
Frankie.
And then I said to him, I gave him the grade out. I said, well, I just want to know if it's in stock because I have to do measurements when I get home. That's the way I get out of dates with girls too. I said, I'm not ready. I got to go home and do some measurements. Then I'll be back.
God, I knew that was going to happen. I saw that coming right up Broadway. I'm saying, when's he going to get that? And sure enough, bam.
We should call our group Park Boulevard.
Group?
Let's start a group.
Improv group?
No, a rock and roll band.
Oh, Deer Park Avenue.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Park Boulevard. Well, that's where Steve is off Park Boulevard. I'm off Park Boulevard. Well, we can call off Park Boulevard because we live off Park Boulevard.
There is a band out of Massapequa called Pine Street.
Okay.
And they're very good.
We should go over to Prohibition. Maybe they'll give us a gig.
We got to take Tony to Prohibition and have him do some stand up there.
They have stand up in Prohibition.
No. Well, they have a band that plays there. They have a stage. Well, it's not really a stage. It's so funny. You have all these nice places on where we're talking about on Front Street. Massapequa
by the train station.
Exactly. So you have Michael's Wine Bar. And some regular.
I used to do the murder mysteries at the old Irish pub. That is no longer there.
Was the Irish pub? What was it called? Oh God! And Frank played there all the time too.
Yeah. On Front Street, along the train station.
Yes, where what you call it is now.
Next to the wine bar or next to Shrimpies?
No, on Park Boulevard.
On Park Boulevard.
The Irish
pub, wasn't it?
No, the Irish Cottage.
The Irish Cottage. That's
the
it.
Irish
Yes,
Cottage.
the Irish Cottage.
Where
they had great food there.
Yeah.
Where the
good shepherd's pie.
Yeah, good everything.
Wow. Bah. I love shepherd's pie. So, what TV do you think? What brand do you like to lean towards? What can you recommend of a brand?
I gotta be honest.
What do you find? They're all the same.
They're all, in a way, they're all terrible.
Well,
they're not like old TVs. They don't last long.
Yep.
Ever since we've been getting flat TVs, I think we've gone through 3 flat LEDs.
But Steve, they're so cheap.
They are cheap.
They're cheap. They're not. And they don't weigh 7,000 pounds. You don't need a forklift to get them home.
That's true also.
Those two right there are the same brand. I can't remember what Vizio.
We have Samsung. And
Samsung's right there.
That's a Samsung.
That's a Samsung. That one's okay.
I think
this one's TCL, but those two.
And you got an LG behind you.
This one's good. I like this one. But those two went out maybe a year tops. And,
what? Can you see what that is?
Is it Vizio? It's all right. I got the remotes over here.
Vizio, yes.
Vizio.
It is Vizio. Okay.
That's a Vizio.
Yeah, I was looking at now. They had a great sale on a 50-inch and 55-inch Toshiba, which is a subsidiary of Samsung. They're under they're Samsung took over Toshiba now. So the Samsungs are like a little upgraded model, if you will. They're a little more pricier, but so I'm looking at that. It was 255-inch, $199.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. It ends tonight. I gotta get there and sign the contract, sign the deal. So I said, "Can you sweeten the deal a little bit? What can you throw in for me?" He's gonna give me a remote control with batteries included.
Whoa! How about some free sessions?
That he gives me or I give him?
Whatever.
He shows me how to use the TV. But yeah, I think they're all kind of. But I mean, the Sonys are still very pricey if you wanted to go. But you don't need to do that. And that exactly, you're just paying for a name. See, my mom is a name. She likes to pay for the brand name.
She likes the names. Of course.
She always
doesn't like the names?
A name. Sometimes you can get. You can get the equally.
Exactly.
What was your? I was going to ask you because I've been getting a lot of Brady Bunch feed on my Instagram for some reason. Have you been?
Brady Bunch?
Yeah, I'm getting all these like clips on my Instagram.
I get a few, but nothing. I haven't been over.
You know what it is? Because I
with
think
it.
once I clicked on one, now I'm getting more.
Yeah, that's right.
Now they've
Now
pegged me for a Brady.
Oh, yes.
I'm a Brady guy. So my question is, what happened to Oliver? What happened to that kid?
Robbie Wrist, he's around.
Yeah.
I've seen him. He does a lot of these.
He's blamed for the end of that show.
It's stupid.
They lay into him, boy.
Show was bad, but the show was bad the first season it was on.
What
My
are you a
God.
Brady hater?
I love the Brady Bunch, but let's say
What's your
what it
favorite
is.
episode?
Oh my God!
Give me your favorite top two. I'll give you my top two in a second. I know my
gotta
top two.
think of-
All right, you think. I'll give you my top two. I like the two-parter in Hawaii.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that because
you
I
got
love
Vincent
with
Price,
Vincent Price,
Don
and
Ho.
and the beans, the can of beans,
Get it off! Get it off me!
and just the acting is great. No, it is taboo.
It's taboo.
And every time something happened,
And I like Mike in the nice Hawaiian shirt with the lei.
yes.
So I like that.
Poor Alice, remember she had the taboo on in
she
her
hurt her
back.
back. Yeah, she had the little stat. Sure.
Doing the
Mrs.
hula.
Ray! Mrs. Ray, I think my left went right. What's the matter, Alice? I like when the one that they ran Alice right out of. Now, this is my problem.
Oh.
You remember the one where they were cold to her?
That
She-
was from the first season of 2 seasons. Yes.
Yeah, they
and
made
Kay.
her. She got, no, not. Oh yeah, Kay,
Yeah, right,
the
remember?
mean one.
And they said, well, Alice. Well, I'm not Alice.
I'm not
Kay.
Alice. I'm Kay.
Oh, screw you, Kay. Don't be.
They were.
But you know what Kay knew, and Kay went
she-
to Alice
Yes,
and
and
said they need.
And who? Well, here's the
I
question.
can't deal with these people.
Steve is good at this. Who was the owner of that diner that Alice was working for in that episode?
Oh my
Great
God.
character actor.
I did know who it was, but I haven't seen it in so long. Oh my goodness.
I'll send you the clip, but he was a great character actor. He was always in these like sitcoms that he would make like appearances.
I got one too.
Of a Brady episode?
Kay. Not well.
Oh, Kay.
Trivia.
Yeah.
Name the iconic movie where Kay is has a big role in. I don't know the actress's name.
I know. I've seen her too in lots of things. Also,
There was one in particular.
Oh, but I know the face. I can't. That's a tough one.
Think Christmas.
Christmas.
her name was Mary Treen. That was the actress's
Mary
name.
Treen.
That doesn't help
Mary
me.
Treen.
I don't know. Do you
Still
know?
alive? No, I'm joking.
Well, she could be. I mean, no, she couldn't.
no. She was.
I'm gonna sneeze.
She's the. Oh, God bless you. Wow.
Thank you.
Bless you, Steve.
Thank you.
She's
Thank
the
you, sir.
bank teller that works in the building alone in It's a Wonderful Life.
No.
Yeah.
Wait,
Really?
Yeah.
Wait. I'm trying to think of the.
I
Yes!
never realized. I could see that.
That's
yes.
right. The bank. That's a good call
Oh
on
my
that,
goodness,
Tony.
that's
Wow. Wow.
You know, I remember first seeing It's a Wonderful Life, and I knew it without even seeing the other one. That's Ellen Corby, the one who asks for the exact amount of money.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
that's the grandmother
Can
from
I
the
have
Waltons. Ellen Corby.
$19.47?
Right.
So I like the Hawaii episode where they go to Hawaii.
Yes.
Because Marsha was looked great in that.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
Yes, she
Oh, come on. Maureen McCormick.
did. How about
Who became heir to the McCormick Spices fortune, by the way.
whatever
Yes,
whatever
I've heard that.
whatever
know
you
that.
say, Steve?
Steve hates when I don't get the trivia right. And the other episode I loved, I did like, not that Alice one, but that was a funny one. I liked when Greg and Peter double dated and he put the mustache on to get the girl. Peter was a good actor. He was funny.
Oh, Peter was
He
good.
was actually, Christopher Knight was
Pete-
my
Christopher
favorite
Knight,
Brady.
yes, I like Christopher Knight too.
I
He was the best.
He was the best.
He
and
was the
Jim,
best.
And Eve Plum was pretty good.
The middle, of course, it's the middle.
The middle ones were the
middle
best.
ones were the best actors.
I think so.
The middle child.
I mean, the two younger didn't get much longer.
because you know what because that was the most complex characters.
Yes.
Okay, Bobby and Cindy are just
They're
the little
fillers.
ones.
They're
They're
fillers.
killers. They're not.
They're fillers,
They're
yeah.
not fully developed.
No.
You know, Marsha and
Just like
Greg.
me. Developmentally.
Marsha and Greg, of course, they're like, you know, big man on campus,
Sure.
and you know, the prom queen. You know,
Doug Henson.
They're perfect. You know.
Doug Mulaney. You're going out with Doug Mulaney? He beat out Greg for the basketball team.
How about when?
I'd like to see you score anytime, Greg. You remember that from the movie?
Was that when?
That was in the movie.
Was that the one when Marsha went out with Greg's nemesis.
Yes.
And then he got his girl, and he had to do the cheer. F-I-L, L.
Now, there was also the one where Greg had to pick the cheerleader. Remember, he was the one he was dating, or
yes.
Marsha, and
Oh
he
my
had
God, that was
he was on the cheerleading committee. And the attic one is great. Who gets the attic?
Who gets the attic? That was a good one.
Which
too.
now would be child abuse, but back then it was now he'd be called by CPS. But back then they wanted to sleep in the attic.
Yeah. I thought for sure your favorite would be Davy Jones.
Oh, of course.
That's a good one, too.
They just showed that one.
Oh, really?
And that was a young Marsha. I mean,
that
she was. That was like
tell me
first
there was
season.
nothing. No, that wasn't first season. That had to be the
like
third.
second. She was young.
Yeah, it was the third season.
I don't look that up. They only had 4 or 5 seasons.
He used to actually
Yeah.
do that damn song in concert.
Well,
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
He
He did it in the movie.
He
in
would
the
never.
Brady Bunch. He spoofed it. He did it with the
The
rock
thing
version.
was, he would never do the song until the 80s.
Yeah,
When
yes.
they had the reunion, everybody knew that, and he said, "Wow."
What was that? A monkey song, or was that?
No,
his
it's a Davy Jones
He had a
song.
solo.
I don't even know if that was really one of his songs. I don't even know. Or it was just for that. Like,
no,
did they write it for that show?
No, it wasn't. It was written for It was written for the movie version of the Star Spangled Girl,
Oh.
which was a Neil Simon play. That Neil Simon had nothing to do with the movie. It was terrible. It was with Tony Roberts and I forgot the other guy, Stuart Pankin. No, that's Stuart Pankin. No, another guy who was in Room 222. Anyway, but the theme song was, and Sandy Duncan was a Star Spangled Girl, but that was the theme song.
Oh, wow.
And I think they used it in another movie also.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
Now they had a lot of stars on the. I also liked the Joe Namath episode
yes,
when Bobby got to throw to Joe Namath.
that's right.
Don Drysdale.
Don Drysdale
Double
taught
D.
Greg how to pitch.
Yes, there are a
And-
couple of Dodgers. There's another one with a Dodger. I'm trying to think.
Wes
Parker.
Wes Parker.
Yes.
Wow.
Wes Parker, right? Where she was like dating, or his wife was it? Yes,
Yes,
that was an
was the
episode.
teacher,
It was a
the
teacher
teacher,
episode,
yes.
right? So they used to have some cameos there. Who else made?
Well, they got a little deep, too, with the whole Jesse James thing. Remember that?
Oh my!
That
That
was
was
weird.
that was a quite a.
Was that like Bobby was like portraying Jesse too
He,
much?
yeah,
no,
he
he was.
wanted
He
to
was.
be him.
He wanted. He
wanted
was
to-
like he was
yeah.
a hero.
Idolizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they brought in a victim or something.
They brought
Jesse
yes,
James, right?
Bert
Yeah.
Bert Mustin talking. Oh, I hear you really like Jesse
He
James.
goes, oh boy, I do.
I knew Jesse James. You did? Yep. I'm not too fond of him. No, why? Jesse James killed my family.
Yeah, he shot him right in the back.
And then Bobby has the nightmare of them on
Right.
the train.
Right,
Bang!
that's
Bang,
right.
bang, that's wow, Steve.
And all the Bradys are dying.
You know what? Robert Reed must have wrote those episodes. He wanted something serious. Yeah, that was that was that was when they tried to go a little serious, a little bit off the. And I'm trying to think who. Now, which family did you like better, the Partridge Family or Brady Bunch? Because they were both '70s families.
Partridge Family was kind of hipper and funnier. In a real, honestly, you watch the Partridge Family, and you, as an adult, and you laugh a little more at the Partridge Family. You find it a little more funnier than the Brady Bunch.
But more importantly, who got more action, David Cassidy or Barry Williams? Oh. I mean, that's not even.
I think David
Yeah,
did.
David.
Well,
Well, he
David-
was a rock star.
David could really sing.
Yeah,
And he-
Barry wasn't bad.
Barry was all right.
He was
yeah.
okay. He did he was in Pippin.
Yes, he was
On Broadway.
He was in that. He was in a few other plays. Yeah.
He was very good. I saw some YouTube work of him on Broadway. He was a good actor. And Mike Lukeland.
Did he sing? I don't think.
No,
I
he
don't
didn't
think-
sing,
None
but
of
no, I'm
those
saying-
kids outside of.
Now,
you know,
did they all sing that song?
They all sang. Yes.
In those song
In
episodes.
the Brady kids all sang in their real voices.
And they put
like
out
you
an
can
album.
tell. They did. I have one.
There you go. Of course he does.
I got one for my birthday.
Why?
When my 50th birthday. No, I didn't. I got it when I was like 10.
I was going to say.
As when it's time to change.
I read the Maureen McCormick book. Here's
Oh,
the
really?
story.
I
It was
did not read
Very
it.
good. She was a major coquette. She had a huge problem
Uh-huh.
in her like post Brady years, obviously. Not while she was living with the Brady.
It's
while she
really-
was in the Brady
it's
house.
not,
But
kid
she,
actors don't have it made. They definitely do not.
She was narrating. Remember that TV show? What was that? Late '80s, maybe early '90s on HBO. Real Sex. You remember that show?
Really? Yeah.
She narrated that. That show was
did
on
not
for
know
several
that.
seasons.
I
She
didn't
didn't
know
narrate
that.
the whole thing, but I would say maybe half of the season she narrated that.
Yeah, wow.
And she won, or I don't know if she won, but she was a finalist on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, really?
And that
She's
was
still a good-looking woman.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, she
she's
is. She
and
looks really
she
good.
was on Howard Stern. There's a great interview where she's on the Stern show, and he's like, he's loving that she was very out there sexually and wild. So that's all he's asking her about. She's like, "Don't you want to ask me about like the Brady?" He goes, "I don't care about those." He goes, "Tell me what you were doing." He goes, "So you do anything for coke, right? Anything?" That was more Howard and his. That was a long time ago.
Season 3, I was right.
Season 3.
Davy Jones.
David
episode.
Jones. That's when he called himself David Jones.
No, he was Davy Jones. He was never David
I'm
Jones.
kidding. I know he wasn't. Now, who was that guy that played his manager in the episode? Was that his real manager?
No.
I know.
It's like one of those bad actors.
He was not. Steve's blasting this guy because he's a bad actor. He got the part, didn't he?
Marsha Wallace was in that episode too. She played
She was the teacher.
That's right.
From the Bob Newhart show.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she also played in another episode when Jan wanted to be. She's trying to get a boy. She made up a boyfriend, George Glass, but she wanted to get rid of her freckles, and she went to the department store. And Marsha Wallace was the one. Well, you could use lemon juice,
No, that was a man in the pharmacy. Yes,
but Marsha Wallace was in that one.
She might have been, but that's who she went to. The pharmacy was a man that told her to do the lemon juice and the squeeze. I know what you're talking about. That was look that up. Because that was definitely a male pharmacist. Because he was going, this friend of yours, he knew what she was talking about herself.
Right.
Now, 3 of them had severe problems. Peter had the episode about being dull. Remember, he was told he had no personality.
He wanted personality, so he decided to steal Humphrey Bogart. Pork chops.
And applesauce.
Applesauce.
And
Swell.
Jan had the no talent one. Remember, she's like, I have no talent.
Right.
She tried to do the baton and stuff. And Bobby couldn't win a trophy. Remember, he went on that ice cream eating contest?
Right.
Now, Steve would know who ran that ice cream contest.
It was the great Hal Smith.
There you go.
Who's that?
He was, what's his face? The drunk from Andy Griffith.
Yes.
What was his,
Otis.
Otis, yes. But he's an actor who's been in a billion different, really, he has. The king of cartoons, right? That was
Yes.
the king of cartoons.
So but that was a lot of they had a lot of problems. The 3 kids had severe. Marsha never really had any problems. on the
Marsha and
show.
Greg never really had any problems.
Other than the attic fight.
Remember when Greg got that bad injury in the foot from playing
Yeah.
football, and he became a photographer.
Yes.
and
he showed the play?
They
That was the start of Instant Replay. That's
you
when they
go.
started reviewing play.
it was
Thanks
good.
to that episode.
And you see the foot on the line. It was good.
It was good. Hey, Greg, this is great. That was the start. Now, that was there was another episode where Greg almost got somebody. No, that wasn't.
But I digress.
Now you know, Greg.
How about
you should always wear protection. Thanks, Dad.
How about when Marsha got the part in Romeo as Juliet in Romeo and Juliet,
Yes.
and she went right to her head.
Well, they all
And
had
then-
episodes.
And then the football. Hey, you guys!
Oh my nose! Now, and in the movie, the guy goes, Doug Mulaney comes in the movie and he goes, "Well, it's not your nose I'm after, Marsha." She goes, "Thanks, Doug."
Oh no, that was there was Charlie.
Yeah.
Remember Charlie?
Well, Charlie's the one she broke off the
broke
day
off
with.
with.
Yes.
Poor Charlie.
And Jan's trying to think
Everyone-
of the name. She goes, "I have a program." She looks at the orange. She goes, "George Tropicana." And they go, "Oh, he's nice. Is he Cuban?" Shelley Long played. She was so good. And what's his face is awesome as the dad. He's one of my favorites. Gary
Cole?
Gary
He's
Cole.
so good.
Yes,
He's
Gary
a great
Cole
actor.
is just a great. He's a great dramatic actor.
Yeah.
He's a great comedic actor.
Who's great in Office Space.
Yes,
Yeah.
flair.
Flair. And in the other one, I loved him in with Talladega Nights, where he
Yes.
plays his dad. He's fantastic.
Do you know who else was in a Brady Bunch episode as one of Marsha's friends?
No.
Christine Baranski.
I don't know who that is.
Really?
Oh, you know Christine Baranski. You've seen her.
Have I?
Yes, she's a big Broadway actress, and she's
What was she in? Name something.
TV she's done. She was in The Good Wife with Juliana Margulies, and she was in Sybil Shepherd.
Yes.
Sybil
Wow,
Shepherd
of
show.
course. Oh, I didn't know her
in-
name. Yeah.
She was in the Addams Family. She was great in the Addams Family. But yeah,
Florence Henderson tells a great story. She was talking to Larry King, and she tells there's an episode where Marsha comes in with her friends, and Sherwood Schwartz didn't have the friends say, "Hi, Mrs. Brady," or any banter because he didn't want to have to pay them.
right.
So Florence Henderson says to him, I will not do this scene with these kids coming in and not even addressing me. It's ridiculous. Kids would come in and say hello. So she said to him, "You're so cheap, I'll pay for it." She told Sherwood Schwartz. She goes, "Because the scene will look ridiculous." And they finally caved in, and they, Sherwood Schwartz like,
I'll tell you, Florence Henderson, she was something. Did you hear the story about when they first started doing the Brady Bunch, and they're doing the bedroom
I know
scenes
what you're gonna
with
say,
Mike, and of course they can't figure out why Robert Reed is so stiff with Florence Henderson. They couldn't figure it out.
Well, what do you mean stiff?
Very
not in his case.
awkward. Yeah, definitely not that.
get your words right.
None of them could figure out, but Florence did. She said, "Back off. I'll handle this." And for some reason, it worked. She made it work.
Yeah, she was
A little bit of a wild one herself.
She was wild.
Her and Elizabeth Montgomery. She got around.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Montgomery.
Now, guess who she lost out the part to in Carousel?
Shirley Jones.
They're her friend.
And Shirley
the
Jones.
Partridge Family
And
thing
Shirley
that-
Jones is kind of wild too. She has a bit of
They
a body.
all had that kind of.
You came from Broadway.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right, there's no inhibitions. There's no.
But if you see like all the stuff that Florence Henderson was singing in the '60s, she very just such blah, But these were two actresses, that were popular with Richard Rodgers. Loved them. They put them in all their plays and everything like that.
And I'll tell you, there was nothing better than those Brady variety hours.
And you know what the funniest? Did you ever read the book? The most ironic thing, Robert Reed, who just always hated the Brady Bunch because of, it was so ridiculous. The stories were ridiculous. Robert Reed loved the variety shows more than anyone else.
Yeah,
he
was all
loved
in.
doing them,
And they were so bad.
I know, which is.
And they were terrible, but they, I don't know.
Our friend Jackie the Joke Man, who has a show in here and comes in here quite often. Some years back, he was in a movie where he had to. There's a scene where his girlfriend is waiting for him, and he enters in the scene, and he's just supposed to go up to her and just kind of just flirt a little bit and laugh and just get a little giggly. Right. I forget. I think it was him. He was holding a hot dog, and the girlfriend grabs the hot dog and she's like taking the mustard and like putting it all over. Like she totally ad-libbed this, throughout the thing. And next thing you know, they're getting mustard on each other's tongues, so their tongues are like. It was Florence Henderson. She just did all this on the cuff, and he said she was absolutely wonderful. He had a blast.
Was it a movie?
Was that
this
Shake?
Was a movie.
It wasn't Shakes the Clown, was it? She was in that. She was in
couldn't even
Shakes
tell
the
you.
Clown.
You know what? Let me see if I can find
See
it.
if you can find it. I'm gonna go home and watch some Florence Henderson now.
Oh my God, she was there. Shakes the Clown.
So who are you more partial to? You got Elizabeth Montgomery, Bewitched. You got Shirley Jones or Florence Henderson. You got to pick one.
Well, I think Elizabeth Montgomery is I think she's hot.
Look, in fact, there it is.
Oh, that's hysterical.
There it is.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Is that Shakes the Clown?
No.
No, what is that?
It was called Venus and Vegas. It was made in 2010.
Oh my God.
And if you look closer, he's got this mustard on his face there.
Well, what time?
licking
She
it
didn't.
up. Yeah, she must have died shortly
That's
after
what I'm
that,
saying.
right?
That's 2010.
What? Wow. Yeah, it could have been.
It was probably right after that kiss. She went right.
Jackie killed her.
He killed her with that mustard kiss.
Oh, she died in 2016.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was earlier.
Yeah, me too.
That was a shock. No one ever thought that would. She always seemed healthy.
Yeah. But
Life is funny.
We really went down a Brady Bunch rabbit hole.
Yeah,
today.
I know.
We didn't even need
I
any of
didn't
this
even
stuff.
get it. We were talking Brady's. We were talking SNL. Now you have to be careful when you say that fast. I know. I had some really good story. I was going to talk about where was there was one little funny thing here, Steve. I thought you would like. Oh, here it is. You know, it's a deer whatever. It says I grew up in a household that did not use sugar. I thought you would like this.
Oh, this is.
As an adult, I do have the odd biscuit from now and then. This is me. But I never buy soft drinks and just prefer clean foods rather than processed. I prefer clean rather than processed.
Boring.
It's the way I like my women. I like them clean rather than processed. Now, my husband, on the other hand, regularly buys liters, bottles, cases of soda, and loads of white bread. Now, that's a great dinner. 2-liter bottle of soda, a loaf of white bread. That'll keep you up at night.
If you're a prisoner, I think that's...
That's all right. And the kids, I feel, are picking up on his bad, she calls it, dietary habits.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that. You always want to set a good example for your kids. It says, how can I handle this? Divorce. Separate. Just clean break. You're not going to save the marriage from this. He loves what he loves. Why are you always trying to... That's what I'm saying. Change people. Women are always trying to change men. Let him enjoy, and then one day just explode. I'm tired of trying to convince people to live a healthy life. I'm done. I'm saying it right here to Mr. and Mrs. America. I'm done. I have to convince people to live a healthy life? No, you should eat healthy. No, do whatever you want. I don't care. You want to eat, do it. Do it. I'm done.
Well, look, remember last time you did that? To the couple that had Italian food on their shirts, and they couldn't figure out why they were losing. Why
I can't, Steve? I don't understand. We don't lose a pound. They would come to
chicken parmesan on their shirt.
I said, "What'd you have for dinner?" You don't have to answer. I see it on your shirt. They would have sauce, marinara sauce. Who comes after chicken parm? Come on. I still text them.
That was a funny story. I remember. That
I have a lot of funny stories.
I remember that night. That was like
when I first
and they're mad at me because I'm not getting them.
And it's my fault. It's always the trainer's fault. I'm not losing weight. What are you doing wrong? I don't know. I don't know. It's your mouth. It's not mine. And then I used to work many moons ago. I worked in Food Town. I had one of my first jobs in a supermarket. I don't know if it was Food Town or Stop and Shop. So I worked in frozen food. And I would pack, and I had a woman come up to me.
Rob worked in Food Town.
Who?
Too. Rob.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I don't know. In Massapequa?
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting. So I had a woman, she would come up to me and she'd say, where is the diet chocolate fudge ice cream? I said, just get the regular. That's not going to help you. You think diet, it's like, and where's the diet, hot fudge sundaes?
Right.
Stop. That's like, the alcohol-free, just like having, what's the point of those O'Doul's things like that? What, do you love the taste of beer so much that you wanted alcohol? I don't understand that.
Steve had a client whose mother trained with another one of the trainers, and he would give her like a 10-pound weight, and she says, oh, I don't like this weight at all. It's just so...
Well, she was 109.
He gave her... They went down to a 3-pound weight. Oh, I like this. This is smooth.
Well, she was older, Steve. And I didn't train that woman. I trained the son who was...
no, that's another
show.
That's another show.
I can't talk about that on this show.
We talk about that on a daily basis.
That's it. He had to be... It was... I don't even know where to go with that.
Oh, I would wish I could make a movie about that.
We might. Anyway, it's so much quieter here than last time we were here, right? Remember, we had Louis C.K., the dog. It was the parking lot was it. Now it's empty. It's just quiet out there.
It's our time to go to the...
I got to go to Best Buy. I got to buy that TV.
Good luck.
All right. Thank you, boys. Thank you for watching the Steve Squared Show. Again, check out. I'm going to put some dumbbells up on the Stephen R. Kaminsky Instagram. Steve, you good show the other night on. I caught your show WHPC 90.3.
Did you really?
You played back-to-back women's I Am Woman. That was a lot.
I did a couple songs. It was Susan B. Anthony's birthday.
Oh, okay. So there was.
Saturday.
So you did a Helen Reddy.
Did a little I Am Woman by Helen Reddy, and then I'm a Woman from Peggy Lee.
Yeah, it was a little too much for me.
I'm a woman.
You had after Helen Reddy, I had enough.
It was only 2 songs. My God, get over it.
I don't have to.
Yes, you do.
All right. Anyway, have a great evening.
Step over